Hello and welcome to StudyIQ, my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 9th December. It's a Sunday today. I'm sure you all are enjoying your Sunday. Now, today we don't get editorials, articles and things like that. So today we are going to go through a very lean version of the Hindu analysis. But I have a special topic for you guys that is important for your syllabus, for your mains examination. Very interesting topic that we are going to talk about today. But before that, quote of the day: the most worthwhile thing is to try to put happiness into the lives of others. That's right. When we help someone, when we, add or put happiness into the lives of others, it gives us intrinsic satisfaction, isn't it? With this, our pen drive and tablet courses are available for various different exams. A flat 50% discount is going on at present. To find out more about it, do check out StudyIQ.com. Mind you, 12th December is the last date of this sale, so make the most out of it. Today we are going to talk about PPP in roads development projects. Very important thing. Now, one basic thing, I'm sure we all are aware about this thing, that roads are basic requirement for development. Without roads, you cannot even imagine about development of your economy or your area or your state or your nation. PPP stands for public-private partnership. Basically means that government company will form a partnership with a private company, and one of the main reason is to accomplish or to execute and to finish a given project. And here our main focus will be on road development projects. Now, the reason why we are going to talk about this thing is because last week we were talking about not last week, in fact this week, we have talked about this thing that there are two engines of growth. One is government's injection, government injecting money or government investing in various different projects, and the second one is private companies investing in various different projects. What we have seen so far is that this year government has injected whatever it was having, it has thrown out. But private companies are feeling a bit skeptical. They are not feeling that motivated. And when it comes to roads, this construction projects, they play a very important role. As you know, without them, we cannot even imagine about our development. So if a road construction thing is not going on very well, and it is very important that things are, or this developing road networks, in a timely and cost-effective fashion, plays a very important role in economic development. If it is taking ages, or if your project that was supposed to be finished within 1 year, and if that is not even finished the second year, that means cost will go up, and this profitability and this whole economy, then banks will suffer, construction company can go bankrupt. It will not create that, all those opportunities will be lost, and there are so many things. At the same time, if things are sorted out in time, in cost-effective manner, then it can pay us a good dividend as well. It can create this, we can grab that opportunities. Everyone will get something out of it. Let's say that you have Delhi here and Mumbai here, and if you are creating a sort of, a sort of expressway connecting, of course we do have, but I'm just saying that when you have this a road connecting these two centers, these two metro cities, then there are so many cities, right? They will benefit out of it. There are so many industries that you can set up, and all these things can be supplied by various different. But all these things can take place because only when you have good roads, then you have food items and so many services and so many things. Of course, you can add things from your own side. I'm sure I don't have to explain all those simple things. Now, government has adopted PPP model in road development, and you'll be surprised to know this thing, that when it comes to our country, right, we have the largest PPP program globally in road development sector. Look at the numbers here. Number of projects 560. Total length is 45,000 kilometers, and estimated investment staggering 2 lakh crore rupees. And this is not just by central government. You have various different state governments as well who are involved in this PPP program when it comes to road construction. Now let us understand some basics about road development projects. I'm going to make you contractor, right? I'm just kidding. Today we are going to learn about two basic things, and the reason I'm discussing these two categories is because at present government is talking about one more category, and the main focus here is to understand that what we should do to revive this PPP in road construction. So the first model is toll model. We pay toll tax, remember? So the road developer collects toll from the user for a, you can say, a given period of time. So when this project is allotted, it will be discussed that for next 10 years this road developer will collect toll from road users, and this is how that particular company will get its money back. And then you have annuity project. So developer receives a predefined annuity payments from the government. So I'll give you one example of this thing. There could be various different models based on, not categories, we have two, but under annuity how you are going, right? It can vary as per the project. So I'm giving you a very rough example here. Let's say government wants a 5-kilometer stretch connecting city number B, city named A with city B. So you have this 5-kilometer road, right? And this has been constructed by a company called XYZ. 1, 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Let's get rid of this thing. This is 4, and this is your 5-kilometer. Not proportional, but here we go. It's for our understanding. So if your company is this road developing company under this annuity category, then once you finish, let's imagine that this 5-kilometer road will cost, or this overall project should be finished in 1 crore. So once you finished 1 kilometer, then government will give you 20 lakh, and same thing goes for other stretches. So once you finish this 5-kilometer, then you will get 1 crore from the government, and that's all done. Your marriage is over, right? This partnership, as far as this project is concerned, it's over. You have done everything, no objection certificate, everything sorted out, right? We can start thinking about new project. With this toll, it goes on for a bit of long time till you go for like 10 years, 5 years, depending on how big the project is. The basic difference between the toll and annuity projects is risk reward equation. As you can understand here, once you finish 1 kilometer, you'll get an assured amount, or it can be other way as well. Like once you finish your 5-kilometer, you'll get 1 crore from the government. It could be that as well. It depends. So the basic difference is a risk reward equation. As you can understand here, you know that you will get the money if you finish things on time. You will get that decided money. But here you don't know the limit. Either you can get extra money, or you can face losses as well. So naturally, right, this toll model is a bit more risky, and annuity model is less risky. Now when it comes to risks and profits, see here you have no limit. You create a road worth 100 crore, and you may make maybe 200 crore as well. You never know. So there are various different things that are calculated by, of course, a big company who is going ahead with this sort of road construction. So, and private companies, private developers, they are for money, isn't it? They are for profits, and any company, right? And there is nothing wrong with that thing as well. Profit is something that is, you can say, that is a reward of taking risk, and that is a right as well of a business person or a company, right? If they are doing legit business, then they have every right to claim for the profit or chase the profit. Now, while PPP in roads has multiple objectives, it's not just about, for a private company, it is about profit, but for government, it is about development of economy, development of that area, connectivity, and so many other things. A long vision, or you can say a long-term vision, basically, that the government will have after a PPP, particularly in roads. So the fundamental reason for going for PPP route in India is also to attract private sector capital, because the thing is that government, as I told you, right, the government has to look after so many things, and government looks after your defense, government looks after your running this government looks after law and order, schools, hospitals. There are so many things, we can go on and on. So government has to sort out this money. It has to spend very wisely or invest very wisely. And if you are having money, and if that can be utilized, for construction or for this sort of developmental projects, then there is nothing wrong with it. So that's why it basically PPP helps in this, reducing this fiscal burden on public sector. Now, toll projects in general are categorized by long stretches, therefore higher project costs. They also have more structures as compared to annuity projects. They have these complicated things like you have to build bridges, and you have other sort of underground, or many times you have to build some toll bridges, and so many other things are there that we find generally in toll projects. Now, because toll projects are for longer stretches generally, so you will buy things in bulk, wholesale items and things. You'll buy coal tar and sand and whatever other things are required for your construction project. You will buy those things in bulk, and because of this thing, you get it a bit cheaper. And things, economies of scale is something. Economies of scale is basically making things cheaper, or making, if you can buy one thing for 1 kilo, and if you are buying for 1 kilo, you have to pay 10 rupees. And if you are buying, say for example, 1 lakh kilo, then that person can give you that thing for 5 rupees as well per kilo. So this is what economies of scale is all about, making the best out of everything. Best in the sense that if you can reduce the price of something, make sure that you get that required quality in the cheapest rate possible. If we achieve this thing, then we can call it economies of scale in a very simple terminology. Now, the average value of a state domestic product is also calculated by a private company when it is going ahead with this toll project, isn't it? Because if a state is not that developed, if you are not going to use, people are not having vehicles, and if they are not going to use that much, that road if it is not going to be utilized in the next 5-10 years, then private company will not invest in this thing, because it knows that it is not going to make that much money out of that thing. It's a different thing that once you connect places, then you will, once you connect a few cities, then you will see a sort of economic activity. But all these things are taken into consideration. Your state's gross domestic product, economic activity, if it is higher, or if there are chances of higher economic activity, then it will create more interest naturally. This is something that is very natural to understand. Now, as we were discussing this thing, that it is open secret at present that new projects, right, these projects are not attracting private players money, and this is a matter of concern. Now, government cannot keep on injecting money after this heavy thirsty project. So PPP is something that is best, because we have also talked about the strengths, isn't it? That the best thing about PPP is also one thing, that government is reliable. Government, you can rely on government. That one day money will come back. Then you have this thing as well, that government can get all your clearances and everything. The final decision making body for a road development project is government. So that's the strength of government. Private companies, they can sort out things in a time-bound manner. They are more professional compared to government. Things are moving a bit fast compared to public companies. So this is strength of private companies. So PPP is basically about marriage between private and public. So government would like to, go ahead with this thing. Even private companies would like to go ahead as far as profits are there. And to sort out this, to create this sort of, I would say, a sort of thaw, or to reinvigorate this, you can say, to motivate private players to take part in this road construction project. Government has decided to come out with this third model called hybrid annuity model. Now, this, I believe, is just like treating, it's about curing the symptom rather than treating the disease, because so far we have understood things associated with this basic model. Now, the thing is, if the objective is to trigger renewed interest for private sector investment in road projects, changing the concession structure should not be the first action taken. What we need to do is we need to go through these figures. The main problem is the toll projects are not, because 75% of items are toll projects. So, or this PPP in road is toll projects. So toll projects are not as investment ready at the time of project award as compared to this annuity project. If you go through both of them, you find that for a toll project, it will take 12.29 months. That means nearly 12 months or 1 year to begin the construction from the date of award. So just imagine if on 1st January 2019 you are awarded this contract, then it will take next 1 year on an average, right? So you can start your actual work will take place from 2020. So you have lost 1 year if you are going ahead with this stall project. If you are going ahead with annuity project, you will lose 10 months. When it comes to a request for the quotation to project award duration, it takes nearly 14 months, so 1 year and 2 months. So here we are talking about 1 year from this thing and 1 year and 2 months. So let's say 2 years plus time for you to execute things. So this is waste of time. This will create more cost, economies of scale. All these things will get destroyed, and this is one of the main reason why this private players are not that motivated. So what we need to do, if we want to sort out this thing, if we want to cure this disease, then we have to make sure that our projects, that government has to make sure that this stall projects or this annuity projects are investment ready. That if the time when, say for example, if on 1st January you are awarding this contract to a company called XYZ, and then from that day or from 2nd January, there should not be anything that can stop this company to execute or to start work on this project, right? So if we can create this platform, if we can create this scenario where here you are awarded the contract, and from that time itself you can start working on that project. If we can achieve this thing, then yes, private companies will come back, and they will come back with a huge amount of money, and that will help. But this ripple effect is going to be outstanding for the whole economy. Now, dear friends, today, before moving ahead to this news item, so we are done with our special topic. I have a very important news items. This news item is important because I want to show you something, how you prepare, and some tips and things. And then we'll go through some other news items. As you know that today is Sunday, so we have a very lean version of the Hindu analysis. We don't have editorials and articles to go through. Now, I have covered this topic. Let me add one more thing, that this PPP model is important for your overall capacity building, for your understanding on this thing. And if you go back to your syllabus, if you go through your past papers, then you will find that questions based on this sort of things have been asked, and there are high chances that you may find questions in your next examination as well based on this sort of things, particularly in your mains examination. Now, the thing is, dear friends, how to prepare, right? Let's quickly talk about, I'll give you one example. Let's go through this news item first. Now, cloud over key Tibetan meet as Delhi stalls Karmapa's return. Karmapa's return. Karmapa is believed to be successor. He is going to be successor. That's the successor, sorry, of Dalai Lama. Now, that's what it is. That's what the news is, or that's what we hear, that he's going to be a successor of Dalai Lama. Now, government is unhappy with Dorje's decision to acquire Dominican citizenship. Karmapa and his sister fled to Dharamsala, in 1999, and since then they are living here. Government of India provided them with this yellow card that they can use for traveling to various different countries. So all these things were going on, and now this year, this Karmapa has acquired citizenship of Dominica. Dominica is a country. It was news right in the starting of this year. So somewhere in February or something, this news was there. February 2018, that Karmapa got this, I think January, February, I think it was somewhere in the starting of this year that we got this news that he has got this citizenship of a country called Dominica. And now this is something that is not taken very well by Government of India. Government has said that we have given you this card, we gave you refuge and everything, and now we are taking this citizenship, and if you are surrendering your identity certificate, then that's not something that India is happy about, or India is not appreciating this thing. And because of this thing, this meeting that was going to take place, a very important meeting, conference was going to take place in November. So that has been cancelled because Karmapa was not able to take part in it, and there are a few meetings that will take place in near future conferences, which are very important for Buddhism or people following Buddhism. For them, it is for this Tibetan leadership as well. It is very important. So this lack of entry, or government is saying that we are not denying you entry, but you cannot have this Dominican citizenship. If you want, you can travel on your yellow card. So that's a tussle that is going on now. We are talking about how to prepare, isn't it? If you go through your syllabus and if you analyze this news item, I'm giving you a practical example here. Look, you find Tibet, so something to do with a country that is, or it has something to do with the geography, isn't it? So first of all, what you can do is open your syllabus and go through various different items. You will find India and its neighborhood policy is part of your syllabus. Then if you go through this whole topic, right, Tibet and the history of China and what's going on with these people and these refugees coming here in our country. So Dalai Lama, when we talk about Dalai Lama, we are talking about Buddhist people, we are talking about Buddhism, ancient roots of our country, relationship with us. So it's not just about one item, it's about so many things. Then we have geopolitics, right? It is also said that China is pressurizing India. China has pressurized Sri Lanka and Nepal on these topics, on Tibetan topics, and now particularly this Tibetan Buddhist and Dalai Lama and other topics. So China's role or interference in these things, then religious aspect, secularism, there are so many things, right? They are all interconnected. So my tip here of the day is that you should keep your syllabus somewhere. Either if you are using a table and if you have this glass on your table, transparent glass, then you can sneak this syllabus pages under your this glass, so that you will be exposed to it. You will be reading it more and more, and you can stick them on the wall, but make sure that at least you go through them once. If you are just to started your preparation, then go through it. If you are doing it for a bit of time, then as well I will reckon once a week or something you should go through it. And if you find difficulty understanding a particular news, then what you can do is you can go through a news item. At the same time, you can keep your syllabus handy and you can go through the syllabus so that you know exactly how many topics, this particular topic is touching how many various different papers. So all these things will add and help you with your understanding. Jawan arrested for Bulandshahr violence. So that's a sad thing. Army Jawan is arrested, and it is alleged that he's the main person who killed this inspector. A new wave of protest hits Paris, as we have talked about this thing many times now so far. The day before yesterday we were talking about it. So yellow vest protest is going on. You know the reason why, right, regular students? So the thing is, this protest has new wave, so it is getting bigger and bigger. So that's a matter of concern for French government. Army to scale down operations in Kashmir. Army has said that the main job of army is to protect the borders, and of course whenever army is required to create conditions of peace and tranquility, then it is ready. And once things are achieved or mission is achieved, then political process should take over. CWMA is in news, that is Kaveri Water Management Authority is in news because S. Masood Hussain has been made or given this additional charge of chairman of this CWMA, and Tamil Nadu is livid about it, and it has moved to Supreme Court to challenging centre's decision because Mr. S. Masood Hussain is the chief of Central Water Commission. IAF conducts firing of the surface-to-air missile. Name is Crossbow 18, and it's a surface-to-air missile. It has been launched by Indian Air Force. And report on toxic talc worries India. That means this Health Canada has found that it's basically Health Canada is Canada's public health department, and their study indicates that talcum powder that is used widely in our country for self-care products and for fragrance and for maybe there's people use it for looking a bit more to give a sort of fair skin tone, a touch of fairness to their skin tone. So various different utilities of talcum powder, as we all know. Now the thing is, talcum powder can cause, or it can harm your lungs, as well as it can cause ovarian cancer. So I'm sure we are going to find some more articles, editorials on this thing, and on this Tibetan topic as well. I believe we are going to find some more articles, editorials, and this one too is important, this CWMA, because this is a big topic. This Kaveri water management is a big topic. And last two items, world's tallest railway bridge is being constructed in Manipur. Right, it is the tallest bridge in the. It will become the tallest bridge in the world. It is part of this 111 kilometer Jiribam Tupul Impal project. And at present, the tallest railway bridge is in Montenegro. And CGI spotlights the law on death penalty. That's everything in today's discussion, dear friends. And I'll see you tomorrow. You can download the PDF of today's lecture from my FB page and Twitter handle. God bless you all. Enjoy your studies. Jai Hind.